I lived my entire life waiting for this moment. I trained, I lied, I killed, just to get here. I killed in America, Afghanistan, Iraq. I took life from my own brothers and sisters right here on this continent. And all this death, just so I could kill you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Mr. Mike Street, and we're back with another edition of Will It Black. And I'm here with the mighty Everett Street. What's up, Everett?
I'm doing good. This might be the blackest Will It Black ever blacked.
So welcome to Wakanda, everybody. We finally got our Black Panther movie, the movie that Black people have been wanting and deserving from the Hollywood empire for many years. Poor Wesley Snipes, never really able to kick off a Black Panther movie.
I mean, Wesley Snipes got Blade, so you should be pretty happy about that.
And Blade was, what really kind of ushered in this new era, new genre of superhero movies, which was more dark, much more mature. Really kind of gave a new life and a new vision for superhero movies. I would, really say that Blade ushered the path forward that we're in today, where we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, Blade is Blade not the first Marvel movie, but Blade might be the first important Marvel movie. Remember, Howard the Duck is Marvel.
Well, we won't talk about Howard the Duck, even though
Howard the Duck is lit. Don't front on Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is lit.
I did enjoy some of Howard the Duck as well, but we digress. So give me your thoughts. What did you think about Black Panther now that we've both seen it? It's Sunday. Everybody's got at least 3 days to see Black Panther. So what did you think about the movie?
I will get my thoughts in a second. I do want you to know that I'm looking at the Black Panther original score soundtrack. Song number 27 is called Spaceship Bugatti, so I can't wait to listen to that.
Oh, okay.
That sounds amazing. But this movie is more than likely will be the greatest Marvel superhero movie that ever been made. That we took our way for Avengers, the Infinity War, but the opening scene where they talk about the history of the Black Panther, all the way to the very end where, we have the climax and we'll see, spoiler alert, we'll see Michael B. Jordan die, and he talks about how he wanted to be buried with his ancestors who knew that, what was the quote? Death by sea was more valuable than enslavement or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, but from front to back, the movie is very powerful. It did us right for once. There are no token Black characters here. Nobody is being enslaved. No one is the help. Everybody here has an important part. I mean, we found the new Tony Stark and the Black Panther sister, who is now a Disney princess, from what I hear. And yeah, man, I'm very happy with the movie. I almost saw it again yesterday. If it didn't snow, I would have went and saw it.
Yeah, I've seen people say they've seen it 4 times already.
That's a lot of times to see a movie.
So,
People say that.
I think it's, in terms of its importance to the Marvel Cinematic Universe from a storytelling perspective, I think it's probably one of the best told stories. And it's very different because it's, there's a big bad, but his intentions are a lot. He's not really trying to take over the universe, like a Thanos or a Galactus. He's really trying to help his people with Wakandan technology to not be enslaved or oppressed by the master. So the villain here, which we see in, played by, Michael B. Jordan, who's appeared in other Marvel movies because he played...
No, movies don't count.
It does count.
No, he does not.
But
not MCU.
He played in Fantastic Four. He was Johnny Blaze. But so now we see him kind of return.
That's not the name of the guy, Michael.
What was his name then? I thought it was Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider.
Oh, what was the character from Fantastic Four then? It's Johnny something.
Yeah, no, now I'm drawing a blank. It's a Human Torch,
Yeah, the
but his
Human
name
Torch.
is I don't know what his name. I forgot what his name was.
I
That's how I
thought it
show
was
you.
Johnny
That's
Blaze.
it. No, it's not Johnny Blaze.
All
That
right,
goes to
hold
show you
on.
how bad who is it? Sony messing up Marvel movies.
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. That's
Same
that's a
thing.
that's a I mean, yeah, you might as well say the same thing.
Fine. So
That's so generic.
he played Johnny Storm
Yeah.
in the
Listen, if
Fantastic
they
Four
want to make
movie.
Ghost Rider black and make Method Man the actual Johnny Blaze, I'm all for it.
So I don't. I mean, they've been talking about redoing the Fantastic Four movie and then putting them into the full-on Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think we'll have to kind of wait to see if that actually happens or not.
I
But
mean,
going back to,
Marvel is making the moves. I mean, they brought Fox, so now the X-Men are now inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Once they get that deal going, that means that Black Panther can finally marry Storm for real.
yeah,
Um, and Spider-Man is in the MCU, so Sony playing nice. So no, hopefully that'll happen.
and Spider-Man plays a big. In if you watch the trailers for the Infinity Wars, we see that Spider-Man is going to play a pretty big role in everything that happens within the next couple of movies because he does pretty much fight alongside the Avengers as they fight against Thanos. So Marvel's been really building up to the whole Thanos, Infinity War, pretty much since the beginning of the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One thing that I didn't see in Black Panther, and that I know I've been looking for, but where's I thought they were going to show the other Infinity Stone, so we still haven't seen the last Infinity Stone.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I
Yeah,
thought it was going to be in
yeah,
Wakanda, but
yeah, I was looking
they
for that
didn't
too.
allude to it there at all. I thought, because I think the last stone that's missing is the Soul Stone. So I thought that was going to be. I thought they were going to show it at least like somewhere in the cave with the vibranium, but we didn't get to see that. So do you think they'll probably pick that back up at the top of Infinity War?
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, you see the trailer where Captain America, War Machine, and the Hulk is over there. Um, so I can only imagine that it's somewhere. I mean, maybe they don't even know. Oh, unless isn't the Soul Stone purple?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was going to be in Wakanda because a
So
lot of his stuff is purple.
unless one of those berries is actually the Soul Stone.
Maybe. I mean, but it has to be a physical stone.
I
It's
mean,
not liquid.
those things are made of vibranium. Wouldn't get hard, right?
No, they have to do. I think like it's like the particles, like when the vibranium meteorite hit Wakanda, it fortified in the ground. So I think that's how they're able to produce the heart shaped herb.
Okay, I got you.
So I mean, I think that's probably what will when we pick back up with the next movie when we see Infinity Wars, that'll probably be the first thing that they show is where the Soul Stone is because Thanos needs that stone in order to complete the full-on Infinity Gauntlet and have all the power.
Oh no, I'm still gonna say it's probably one of the berries. Cause I think it's not. It can't be a coincidence that that stone revives you, but also gives you the powers of the Black Panther. It can't be a coincidence.
But the Panther, the power of the Panther, has been around for many, thousands of years. The only people who are of royal descent of Wakanda, because technically, if you ingest it, it's poisonous. But only the royal family have the tolerance to take the
See,
heart
now
shaped
that's
herb.
another question because if what was the guy name who was from the other village that was in the mountains?
I think his name was M'Baka.
Okay, so how would he gonna be Black Panther?
But those were the other, other kind of branches of the families of Wakanda. So that's why they said they asked them to challenge because they have royal descent. So if you're of royal
Oh,
descent in the community, then you can challenge and you can have the heart shaped
so
herb.
it's not necessarily blood related, it's just that you're part of that community.
Well, it is kind of blood related, but if you're of royal descent in one of those tribes, then you can you have the ability to withstand the heart shaped herb. It's complicated.
So everybody's a cousin, basically.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Mbaka, their tribe, they worship the monkey lord. So
Mm-hmm.
when you saw the mask that he was
They're going
had, yeah, that was
all that.
the gorilla
Yeah,
that their tribe worship because they live in the mountains higher up.
yeah. Because they weren't down with What was the reason they weren't down with joining the tribe if they couldn't do something?
I don't remember stuff. It was a lot of stuff. I was gonna see the movie again. So, what did you think about like the women of Wakanda? Because there was a lot of women, a lot of we had Angela Bassett, we
Mm-hmm.
had the new Disney princess was Shuri,
Mm-hmm.
running all the tech of Wakanda. We had Lupita Nyong'o, who
Who
was
is
a
now the most
spy.
beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, thanks to this movie.
She's the most what?
Beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, she's always been gorgeous.
But I was like, God damn it. Look at this woman.
And then we had our girl who plays Michonne on
Yeah, I didn't realize
The
that was
Walking
her
Dead.
until somebody pointed out to me. I guess, you don't see the dreads.
But I think in real life she is
Yeah, no, she's
short
bald in
hair.
real life. Yeah.
But she was, she was the perfect person to have lead the Dora Milaje.
Let's talk about that wig, though, in the casino scene. That was a terrible wig they put on her.
But I think they were trying to make a point with the wig thing,
Yeah, I know they
about
were.
natural, kind of like
It
natural
was
hair,
funny.
because she was uncomfortable wearing that wig.
I mean, I'm looking at the poster for here and to see four predominant women who are actually, if you look at the poster, right? T'Challa's at the very top, get the main character. Killmonger to the bottom left. The four, the four other men who are predominant in the movie are to the very bottom left, and the women are bigger than the men. So this kind of shows you the importance of who is in this film, and to have four women who are equally important, equally dominant, equally skillful, equally witty. It's something you don't see a lot. Even with white women, you don't really see that a lot.
But I think it's I think they made the movie what it was, because one, like the Dora Milaje, they are, pretty much Black Panthers, military. They
Yeah,
defend the Black Panther, they defend the crown and the throne, so they're pretty much the first line of defense. And so, when shit hit the fan, they had to spring into action not only to fight against, Killmonger in his Black Panther form, but also fight against the other members of the, other tribe who
yeah,
were, attacking the throne as well. Once T'Challa returned from his pending death, and was able to come back and fight again against Killmonger because technically to become king of Wakanda, you either have to kill the other Black Panther or make him tap out in defeat. So that's the only way you can transfer the throne. So since he didn't do either or, and Black Panther was still alive, they still had to fight for the throne.
yeah.
But I
But I mean,
think, go
you
ahead.
didn't see seeing that in Wonder Woman was pretty good, but seeing this is kind of special because I feel like these people can beat up the Amazons and Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, but Wonder Woman, well, technically Wonder Woman has, the powers of Superman.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I was trying to figure out, but does Wonder Woman actually have a weakness? Because she doesn't, she's not, I mean, she can't really beat Superman, but, she doesn't have like a kryptonite thing that's, if she sees this thing, it takes away her power. So is she pretty
So
much indestructible?
not to get up on Wonder Woman. I do believe. Well, I mean, Chitara can give her a go, but don't really bring her up in the DCU.
I don't think they'll ever bring her up.
That's terrible, though. Why not?
Well, the DCU has a lot of problems that they need to fix.
Oh, the lady who played Marshawn could be a great T'Challa. I mean, not Chitara.
Yeah.
Actually, I think about it.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know what they would do for the second movie.
World War II all over again.
Well, here's the issue I have with DC and kind of with Marvel too, and it does have to do with the whole villain thing. Like, technically, all the good villains they've used already. Like, they've used the Joker like a million times. They only use the Penguin like once. They use the Riddler. You know, they've kind of used up all the good villains. Like, Thanos is technically the best bad guy that, you know, Marvel has, because he's, you know, he's super badass.
Right.
Because he has the Infinity Gauntlet. But then after that, like, all the villains are kind of, you know, mediocre. You know, there's really no, like, new villain.
I mean, the only villain that they really have is Batman villains.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care about name a Superman villain besides Lex Luthor, Bizarro, and Doomsday.
The one that they've never explored, and I always
Like, it's Brainiac.
I was gonna say Mixoplex.
Who is Mixoplex?
He's like the little, he's kind of like a little elf, and he like always was like a bad, a thorn in Superman's side. Like, he could transport him to different dimensions, and you know, it was a part of like the Justice League cartoon. I don't know if I never really paid too much attention to him in the comic books, so I doubt if they'll ever explore him as a character. I mean, but especially when we saw how terrible the villain was in Justice League, I was like, they just don't have anybody else to throw up there now.
Right. Is it kind of like Morph from the X-Men, where you can go to different dimensions, or?
Yeah, he can do a lot of stuff, and the only way you can stop him is get him to say his name backwards.
What? How do you do that?
You have to kind of trick him. Again, if you watch the Super Friends, you would have seen a lot.
I used to watch Super Friends. I don't remember this. Talk about the old Super Friends.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Black Panther. So I was trying to figure out, like, what would they even do? Like, this was such a complete movie, a very satisfying movie. It gave us everything as what. It gave us the fashion of Africa. It gave us good fight scenes. It gave us a good story. It fit perfectly within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what else would they do for a follow-up movie to this?
Bring back Killmonger.
They can't bring. He's dead.
They could do whatever they want.
I mean, but what would be? I don't even see the point of bringing him back. Like, they have to have somebody.
Well, I mean, to bring him back because Michael B. Jordan is fantastic. Michael B. Jordan is the best Marvel villain, besides Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but they're not going to bring him back. So.
Actually, I don't know many. I mean, to be honest with you, I never really followed Black Panther like that, so I'm not sure of who the Black Panther villains are.
Well, technically, Claw was his greatest villain.
But they killed him.
Yeah, so...
They killed him super early.
They don't have many other villains to explore. I mean, I think the next thing they could explore is crossing him over with his Storm storyline and how they'll get married.
Yeah, I forgot about this guy, Craven the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about him. Yeah, he could be a good villain. I'm looking at a post here, comicbook.com, put 7 great villains for Black Panther 2. So we got Craven the Hunter.
Craven's more of a Spider-Man character.
Yeah, but I mean, but still, to put in that setting, he'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Submariner. Whoever Man-Ape is.
The Sinister Six there's talk of bringing them to the screen next for Spider-Man. So if they wanted to loosely introduce Craven, they could do that and then kind of cross over into the Sinister Six storyline. Especially since they're doing Venom movie.
They put Doctor Doom in here too.
Yeah, actually, Doctor Doom
and
and Black
Moses
Panther.
Magnum.
Yeah, actually, Doctor Doom and Black Panther have a very storied history together because it's Black Panther who ultimately puts an end to Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you read the Civil War II, at the end, Black Panther finds ultimately gains control over the Infinity Gauntlet. And
What?
yeah, because you have to
First of
read
all,
the story.
I can't believe you read that. Number one.
But technically, what happens is Black Panther. Well, Black Panther is and everybody else is fighting against Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom's super powerful.
Is Doctor Doom the actual villain to Civil War Two?
Yeah,
I only read the first one. Didn't She-Hulk die in the first one?
I don't remember. I just know how it ends.
Well, not the first one. I mean, in the first comic, somebody dies. I think it's She-Hulk.
Hmm.
Sheree Williams be a great She-Hulk too. Sheree Williams probably be a great T'Challa too.
Yeah, if she could act.
Somebody put Sheree Williams in the movie and let's see what happens.
You never know. Maybe they'll have. They could have had her a special appearance as one of the Dermalage.
I thought they would have her best appearance in Wonder Woman as one of the Amazons.
Yeah, but I think either having the Storm storyline, especially since Disney has,
But
the rights back to the X-Men, I think that would probably be the next best way for them to go with Black Panther.
yeah, I mean, but then you have a love triangle between Black Panther, her, and his girlfriend now.
I think that's
Yeah.
okay.
But I don't think. Would you want to see that?
Yeah, I mean because Storm does become she technically does become the queen of Wakanda.
Hmm.
But they ultimately break up. But yeah, they do have a child together as well. I mean, they were together. That was probably I think that comic book came out in like 2006 where they got married. So that was that was kind of a big event in the Marvel universe was the marriage of Storm and Black Panther. So, and I think just from a visual perspective, like everyone would love to see they could do like a really cool African wedding. I think it would be a lot of, eye candy that people would want to see. Especially with bringing together like two of the most beloved black characters, which is Black Panther and Storm, into
Yeah.
one movie. And then maybe after they do that, then they can give Storm her own standalone film.
Would it be in Wakanda or would it be in?
No, I mean, I think they could do Storm's origin story and kind of like go backwards to like, here's Storm, as a thief in Africa and then how she met up with Charles Xavier and became part of the X-Men.
They kind of. I mean, even though that last X movie was kind of bad, they kind of did that.
But I think it's okay. They could, give it full justice.
Hmm.
I mean, because
I don't know.
Storm is a big part of is a big part of Marvel and a big part of the X-Men. Like there was, she did a lot. She led the X-Men for years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tons of stuff for her to, there's tons of backstory on Storm that they could do, and because actually, it would make sense because the Dark Phoenix is kind of the next chapter that they're going to explore with the X-Men.
God, I wish they stop making those X-Men movies though. Those movies are terrible.
But I think now with Disney in control, I think they'll be able to steer it in the
But I
right
think that movie was
direction.
already done though, so I don't think they'll have that control over this movie coming up.
But I still think they'll have input. I mean, they can always reshoot stuff. I mean, if they don't like it, if they don't, Disney has trillions of dollars. They can do, if they don't think it's going in the right direction, especially if they want to fold it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then it would be of their best interest too, to do that. Because there's tons of stuff they could do, once they, because they can even have the Avengers fight the X-Men, because that happened a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole series of X-Men versus Avengers, and I wish they wasn't wasting. See, I always wanted who playing Venom? Like I've got the guy name already, Tom Hardy. I always wanted Tom Hardy to be Wolverine. So now they kind of wasted that.
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be a good Venom.
But I don't understand the Venom trailer. I mean, I know we're getting off Black Panther, but did you see the Venom trailer?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, it's really just a teaser, so they're not trying to give you too much.
I mean, but people who know Venom knows Venom.
Yeah, I
So I
don't know
mean, like
how
who
it's
that?
gonna fit into everything else that they have going on within the Marvel universe. Is it even
But
part of the cinematic universe?
I mean, they show the Golden State Bridge and all that kind of stuff. So like it's in San Francisco. But
Well,
do we? But going back to Storm, do we keep Alexandria's ship as Storm?
I thought. Wait, who played Storm?
Alexandria's ship, the same woman played Leah.
No. We get rid of her altogether. I think. Well, I wanted Lupita to technically.
Yeah, I
play
know. I was
Storm,
just
but
looking
that
at her
can't
and said,
happen
"Man,
now.
put some silver hair on her. That's Storm."
But that can't happen now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'll have to find someone good. I mean, because this will be an important movie if they do it and take that as the next chapter in Black Panther. So they need someone that could really play the role, because it's going to be a lot of acting. It's going to be a lot of, stuff for her to do.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta find somebody brand new to actually come do this. But let's get into the story of Black Panther. Let's tell the people what's going on. Let's go into like a spoiler thing right now.
Well, let's talk about the end credits, because there were two.
Okay.
So what did you think about the first one? So the first end credit, we saw T'Challa and Lupita and the Dora Milaje, and all of them.
I like that we're
actors.
calling the BB to her name as if that's her character name in the movie.
But technically, so if you want to be technical, she becomes a villain in the comic
Does she?
books. Yeah. So she's technically not, a good guy. If you go
So
back
that
into
so
her,
that
and
breakup
go
could
into her
happen.
storyline.
So that breakup could happen easily.
Yeah, I mean, if they take it down that road, technically her character. I mean, but they changed. I mean, they made a lot of changes in the storyline from what happened in the comic book.
Yeah, but I mean, they kept like if you go back to Doctor Strange, they did a similar thing where Doctor Strange partner was a good guy until the very end. So it could happen again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first end credit we see, T'Challa. He's at the UN. He's there with Lupita's character, and he's there with the captain of the Dora Milaje. And he basically says, Wakanda's going to open up its technology to the world. And so we kind of see a lot of that take place in the Infinity Wars trailer, because there's two things that we see that give us a clue to the Wakanda tech, starting to come into, mainstream America. So the first clue is that we see, Iron Man. We see Tony Stark's suit,
Yeah.
formed to his body, so very similar to how the Black Panther suit activates through the necklace. We see Tony Stark's suit, appear on his body through nanotechnology.
Right.
And then the second is where we see T'Challa say, he points to Captain America and he's like, "Get this man a shield." And then so later in the clip, we see him running to the Wakanda border with, Wakanda technology on his hands.
Yeah. So, just like how they got the guy from the CIA and they'd be able to make him walk again. War Machine was paralyzed in Civil War, so they could easily take him to Wakanda and make him walk again too. So that's probably why he's able to move around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. I figured that out.
Good for you.
Thank you. I need a star.
And then so the second clip, the second end credit thing that we see is we see Bucky waking up in Wakanda. Being healed. He doesn't have his arm yet in this clip, but one thing that we do see or do hear is that one of the little kids refers to him as White Tiger.
White Wolf.
Or White Wolf. So, so that's kind of an Easter egg, because technically White Wolf is another character in Black Panther lore, where he technically becomes the head of the Wakanda secret military, and so he has access to the Wakanda tech as well. And we kind of see a white suit in the in the lab as well on one of the mannequins. So there's a couple of Easter eggs saying that they'll probably have some kind of other suits and other tech in the future of Wakanda on the big screen. There's also a female. There's a white tiger. Now she's in the comic. Or if you watch some of the Avengers cartoon series, you see her in that comic, and I think she's played by a Latino woman in the comics. So there's tons of stuff they can do now with now that Wakanda is here. So there's tons of storylines that they could do, because there's also the whole White Tiger storyline that they could kind of pick up as well. And that might actually that might be cool to do as one of those Netflix series, if they do White Tiger and bring some Wakanda to Netflix, because there was technically 5 different White Tigers.
5?
Yeah, so there was Casper Cole was the first one, and he kind of, he's White Tiger, but more like in the streets of the hood, fighting against crime. He was an ex-cop. I think the most recent incarnation of White Tiger is technically his sister, or his cousin, and her name was Ava. So the most recent incarnation of White Tiger is Ava Alala, I think that's her name, and she comes into play in like early 2011, where she takes on the mantle of White Tiger, and so she uses the suit, and she's got the Wakanda technology, and so she kind of joins one of the Avengers, kind of like side team. I think it's called Avengers Academy. And then, so you see her on TV now with some of the Cartoon Network Avengers stories, where she assumes the mantle of White Tiger and fights along the younger Avengers teams. So there's tons of stuff they could do with some of the stories. I think this is just the beginning of Wakanda and the Avengers, and everything else they can kind of do with Wakanda in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but then also think, other places, could have her, like Netflix, because White Tiger is Latino. Some of them are, at least. So I think if they wanted to bring a Latino hero to the screen, then White Tiger is kind of a good place to, get that going.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, just be able to have a diversity in their character screen, because every superhero that we grew up looking at have been white, right? Superman white, Batman's white, Iron Man's white, Harry Potter, Captain America, the Lord of the Rings cast. A lot of people are just white men, generic white men, and actually now see, like, I saw a clip today on Facebook where the 2 black kids looking at the Black Panther poster, like, "Oh, I'm that one." Oh, like, "Yeah, I'm that one over there." And just to be able to have the kids do that is now, it shows how meaningful this movie actually is now. Because we had black superheroes growing up, but they weren't this, right? Black Panther isn't a new thing. Black Panther has been around for a while.
Yeah,
but
it's 1966.
But it was never in the mainstream like how it is now.
No. A lot of the black... now we have Black Panther on the screen, but then we also have Black Lightning on the smaller screen. I haven't even watched that show yet, have you?
No, I don't think I don't necessarily have an interest in it.
But we got to support it now.
I know we do. I'm just saying, though, and we have Luke Cage as well.
Yeah, that's true. We have Luke Cage on Netflix, which is really good. They did that. They did that justice too. They're about to. I think they're ready to put out the next one, right? Or is Jessica Jones next?
I think Jessica Jones is next. They probably do Daredevil 3 now at Raphael.
Yeah, I think because Disney is talking about pushing a lot of their content to the Disney app.
Which is weird. I don't know want to see Punisher next to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking would be cool. Like, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
But could we have
There we go.
Marvel versus Disney, the
What, like
video
a fighting
game?
game?
Yes, where you see Mickey Mouse.
Michael, you're lucky to have Marvel vs.
versus-
Capcom. To be honest.
Well, one Disney might as well just go buy Capcom and finish it
No,
out.
they should not do that.
But they might as well. They have the money. They own
Yeah,
everything
but
else.
they had the money. They also had the restriction as well.
But I think that would be an interesting fighting game where it's you could have Mickey Mouse with I was thinking like this. I had this whole level where it's like Steamboat Willie versus like I don't know Black Panther or something like that, and you could have Mickey with a little boat and he's shooting like a little gun.
Okay, but all right, hear me out. If you really want to do that, then put Marvel in Kingdom Hearts is what you probably really want.
Yeah, I don't why not. I don't see
Yeah,
why not.
that'd be a better thing than having the fighting game.
Yeah, so I think
You don't,
it's
but you don't want to have the restriction. Michael, we haven't really talked about this movie, about what happened in the actual movie yet.
well, we're trying not to give too many spoilers for those that haven't seen it, but I mean,
But Michael, okay, we are what? We are pretty much over half hour in this. Let's now
all
talk
right,
about
so let's
spoilers.
do the next 10
If
minutes of
if you
just full
don't
on
if we don't
spoilers.
want to if we don't want to hear this, you probably want to stop this podcast now. So
All
stop
right,
it now.
so the next 10
And
minutes is all spoiler riddled. So Black Panther, the first that we see him, it's time for him to take the mantle of the king. He's got to go to the waterfall, fight, and win in
mhm.
order to take his full on birthright.
In Civil War, did he already take the fruit?
Yeah, I mean he was already Black Panther in Civil War.
But he wasn't Black Panther. Black Panther.
I think anyone of the royal family can be a Black Panther.
I mean, I know his father was old and he would have to do it anyway, but they didn't deep dive into, okay, the man took the fruit and now he's Black Panther.
So then, so he becomes king of Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so then he gets the tech from his sister. But then meanwhile, Killmonger has been plotting to, overflow Wakanda in the background for a long time. And so now that the king, is dead and there's, kind of a transition, this is the perfect time for him to strike Wakanda and mess things up.
Yeah, so before they do that, they find out that that Claw is in Korea trying to sell a vibranium that him, Killmonger, and their henchmen stole from a museum. So they try to do that. That mission fails. They come back, and the guy from Get Out, I'm blanking out on names today.
His name was Daniel Cooligar.
Yeah, so he's pissed because Claw, who stole vibranium a while ago, killed his parents. Claw wanted, he wanted revenge on Claw. Black Panther was not able to get Claw. So how did
But see, here's the differences in the storylines from the comic book to the movie. So technically, what happens in the book is that Claw is pretty much one of Black Panther's big enemies, and a thing they don't address in the film is that also Claw is immortal.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so in the comic book, Claw can't be killed because he's an immortal, and actually his body is made of pure sound.
Wait.
Yeah, but they don't, they don't do any of that with this version of Claw.
Unless they really did, and you just don't know about it.
No, but this one is dead in the books, pretty much. I mean, in the film, he's pretty much dead. But so technically, the sonic gun that you see on his hand was actually a sound gun in the comic books, and so he would use that to fight against his enemies and Black Panther in particular.
Well, they did that, but they blew that car up
But
with that.
they make more of his in the movie. They make his gun more of a piece of Wakandan tech versus a sound wave blaster.
Right.
So that's like one of the big differences is that Claw was really one of Black Panther's main villains, and the Wakandan people have been fighting against him for the past 30 years and never able to catch him. So Michael B. Jordan shows up with him dead, and so that's how he makes his way into Wakanda so that he can challenge T'Challa for the throne, and and kind of pretty much stage a coup.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that's different between the movie and the comic books is that technically Claw killed Eric Killmonger's family, not how they showed it in the movie, where it's Black Panther's father who killed the brother. So there's a lot of differences. They changed a lot of things around to kind of just make things make more sense.
But that was cool though, because it shows why Killmonger is the way he is in this movie. Mm-hmm. Because Killmonger is from Oakland. He has an American mother and a Wakandian father. So when they kill his father, they don't take him with them back to Wakanda. They kind of leave him there to deal with his father's death. And from there, you can see that you kind of tell about his upbringing now was worse because he didn't have a father figure. One, he grew up in a bad part of Oakland. He had to deal with oppression and racism and that kind of stuff. But he knows what Wakanda is. And his whole upbringing from that point to who he is now is, well, why aren't they coming to help us?
So technically in the comic books, Eric Killmonger does come back to life 2 other occasions because he's resurrected from the dead by a voodoo priest. And then also he has, another thing they don't talk about is that he had his own version of a synthetic version of the heart-shaped herb, which he was able to ingest and give him technically the same powers as the Black Panther. He also had a cheetah pet called Prey, Preyy was the name that he spelled his cheetah. So when you look at his version of the Black Panther suit, when he puts it on, has kind of like cheetah prints on top of it, so that's kind of a nod to the cheetah ally that he had in the comic books.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's a lot of they stuck to the main storylines, but then they did a lot of things kind of different.
Okay.
So that's kind of like I'm wondering, like, what would be the next best path for them for the second movie? Because they have to find a good story to put in there. He doesn't really have a big villain to fight against anymore because they killed them all.
I mean, if they did bring Killmonger back via Voodoo Priest, put Dr. Doom in there, I mean, that would be pretty, exciting.
I think Dr. Doom would make more sense as a villain for him to fight against, because there's a lot of, because Dr. Doom is technically one of, he's one of Marvel's also, extremely bad characters who's been messing up everything for a long time. And I still don't think they've done Dr. Doom any justice on the screen yet.
Well, no, because like I said, Sony fumbled that thing from the very beginning.
So I think Black Panther 2 should definitely have Dr. Doom, done correctly as the villain.
It'll probably save him with Spider-Man, though.
But still, Dr. Doom fought pretty much everybody in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. He's probably like the 3rd biggest villain they have. Just based on comic book wise, is Galactus, Doctor Doom, and Thanos.
So I think they also have not,
and Magneto, of course.
They also have really not done the Red Skull any justice either.
No, because Captain America 1 is awful.
And so I think that's another person they can.
Captain America 1 is just a commercial for Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, but Captain America 2 made up for all of that.
I got America too, but my favorite Marvel movie until this came out.
Yeah.
So Killmonger bring Crawl. What's his name?
Claw.
Claw.
Ulysses Claw.
Claw back to Wakanda. He put him in front of the guy who played Get Out.
Daniel
Um,
Coulier.
he put him in front of Daniel. Daniel like, cool, you killed this guy. Let's go see T'Challa. And basically he goes up there. He reveals who he is. T'Challa also finds out the information from Forrest Whitaker, who I liked in this movie.
Yeah, he was good as the priest.
I feel like Forrest Whitaker making a comeback in his career as a kind
But they
of
also
like
killed
side
him
character.
too. So there's a lot of people that we wanted to see more of, but they died.
Yeah, I mean Forrest Whitaker got killed off twice in two big movies, the movie and the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think he played the hell out of Star Wars too. I really like the character
Yeah, I
too.
like that character. I wanted them to just to give us a little bit more of that character and what was his backstory.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much Star Wars. There's a lot more Star Wars stuff about to come out, so you never know.
I'm a big Star Wars fan. I just don't care about any Star Wars stuff right now.
The Solo movie looks good.
But does it?
Yeah.
I feel like I've got like an overload of Star Wars. Where Star Wars should be treated as a pick on something every 2 years. I feel like we're getting way too much of it now.
It's gonna be Star Wars every year.
Yeah, but then now people not gonna care about Star Wars anymore.
Well, we shall see, because that's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
They're about to milk it. I mean, you may even see Marvel versus Disney versus Star Wars.
Marvel versus Disney versus Capcom versus Star Wars.
You know, the mega crossover that we've all been looking for.
I've not been looking for that at all. Cause you know why? X-Men not gonna be in it.
But they can be now.
Now, but still. All right, so Killmonger kills T'Challa, which
he throws him off the waterfall. He's technically not. That's when everyone thinks he's
moment
dead.
Until you see him back, but the snow, everybody thinks he is dead, which was a big emotional moment in that movie that I really liked.
And it's also probably it's the one and that scene is probably the most famous scene from the Black Panther comics when Killmonger throws him off the waterfall. You know, so that part was technically accurate. You know, from book to screen, because that's something that did happen.
You know, my only big hiccup is that this had nothing to do with the movie or Avengers, but we know that Black Panther isn't dead because he's in the Infinity War trailer. So it kind of takes away from the moment for me. And if I didn't know that he was going to be in that movie, I would feel like, you know, Killmonger is fucking shit up right now, and Black Panther is dead, and he is the king for real.
Yeah, but he was technically only king for a day.
I mean, he was a king for a day, but he was getting stuff done. They was about to go and get weapons to all the black people, and war was about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther's coming back because the gorilla tribe finds them. They put them in ice. They keep the heart rate going. They give him one of the berries that
the heart-shaped herb.
The heart-shaped herb that God damn it, names, Michael.
Who? Angela Bassett?
No, who stole the herb?
Lupita.
Lupita gives T'Challa one of the herbs. T'Challa come back to life. He talks to the father. He is pissed at his father and all the other Black Panthers for not doing something around the world. So now he understands why Killmonger is doing what he's doing. It still isn't right, but because he is mad at his father. So now he's also in that same mindset. They come up with a plan to go back to challenge Killmonger because the challenge isn't over because Black Panther's still alive. They fight. Black Panther kills Killmonger. The line of the movie, very
well, no, he didn't kill him though. Killmonger kills himself.
But he stabbed Killmonger.
Yes, but Killmonger was still alive. And
you're right.
And with Wakandan technology, they could have, fixed him.
And he said that to him. He said, "No, we can heal you." He said, "Why? You could just cage me up."
And then so Killmonger kills himself.
And Killmonger with the line of the movie, Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from ships because they knew death was better than bondage.
And then Thanos is ready to come. So I think this is a good setup for, a future Black Panther. I hope Disney actually creates a whole Wakanda village at one of the Disney theme parks. So
That's not happening. But they could do it in Animal Kingdom, of course. That'd probably be a game for.
No, they got a whole bunch of stuff coming. So why not build?
But I'm saying the animals are already in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom is basically quote unquote Africa.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They could easily either transport that park and change it into Wakanda land, or just create a whole new theme park extension. They have a whole bunch of stuff coming, new stuff like Toy Story World. I think Wakanda land would fit right nicely into the whole.
They can't be Wakanda land. It had to be the Kingdom of Wakanda.
Well, whatever they want to call it.
It could not be Wakanda. Rides. If that shit was called Wakanda land, I would never go.
They can have rides, Welcome to Wakanda ride. There's tons of stuff they can do with this brand, and especially when you look at just all the things that people were doing at the theater, like people were getting dressed up in African outfits and people were having parties.
Oh yeah, it might well have been
a whole economy. It's a whole new economy around Black pride and African pride.
I'm saying there might have well been Comic-Con at my movie theater because they dressed up to the nines.
So why not take it to the next level and give us something consistent where we can go visit the park, just like they have Harry Potter World, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I think the Wakanda extension, really makes sense for Disney. It's something that and like you said, they already have Animal Kingdom. All they really had to do is reskin that park because it's already African themed anyway.
Yeah,
they need a boost
to Disney World anyway. Because for the last time we've been, that thing was just like the dullest thing in the world. Universal Studios to kind of eat their lunch.
If you look at the new Disney roadmap, they have a lot of stuff. So this Toy Story World, which is already in production right now, so that's going to open next year.
Yeah, you have Star
Wars, the universe of Star Wars, which is going to have a completely immersive Star Wars hotel experience where, you become one of the characters in Star Wars when you check in, and you get your own storyline, you get your own costume.
If I can't be Orlando's cousin, then I want to be anybody. That's all I'm going to say to you right now.
Mm-hmm. But Disney has just a lot of stuff, that's on the roadmap. And, I think Wakanda needs to be a part of I would say at least their 2022, roadmap vision, because this is a big movie. It's going to make billions of dollars for the Disney brand.
It already has the number one opening. It beat Avengers by $4 million to be the number one opening. Well, it's projected to be the number one opening movie of Marvel's history. All of Marvel. That's including the Fox movies, that's including the old Spider-Mans, the Fantastic Four movies. All of Marvel is going to be number one movie for opening weekend.
And I want to see. Also want to see other stuff, what are the toy sales, because all that stuff really factors into what's happening. So if they see this is a moneymaker, this is going to be $1 billion franchise, make the investments in it. They spent over $100 million just to market this movie. And they don't do that with Black movies or a fully Black cast movie because, most of the Black movies don't translate overseas.
To be honest with you, we were going to go see Civil War regardless. But did it seem like we was actually going to Civil War because we knew Black Panther was in it?
I went to because I wanted to. What made me want to see Civil War was the fight between Tony Stark and Captain America, but also because this is the first time we were really going to see Black Panther fully suited up,
and also a Marvel version of Spider-Man as well. Let's not forget that either.
Yeah, because Spider-Man, oh my God, they need to get him together.
That Spider-Man movie wasn't bad. I heard people didn't like it. But Michael Keaton made that movie though.
Yeah, but I think it's I think now that Disney again has control, we'll be able to see because I'm excited about the animated movie, the Spider-Man movie, where we get to see all the different Spider-Mans kind of existing
Yeah,
at the same
we gotta
time.
review that movie as well when that movie come out.
We'll get to see Miles,
Yeah.
kind of take the lead of that movie, but then we're gonna see all the other Spider-Mans that exist and across all of the dimensions. So there's a lot that Marvel can do, and this is really just the beginning of Black Panther. And people forget that BET had a Black Panther movie, TV series that was headed by Reginald Hudlin. That was actually pretty decent.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, there was, so I would say back in
I'm looking this up.
2004, BET had a Black Panther. It was more like, a living graphic novel, cartoon. You know how they kind of do those graphic novels where it's like, very
Oh
like
shit, you're right.
palsy animation. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Reginald Hudlin was produced that series, and so it took us inside of Wakanda. So this isn't the first time there has been a Wakanda project, but this is the first time they really put a significant investment into making it the right way.
Oh yeah, look at it now. Oh yeah, I didn't know that the thing was existed.
Yeah, and then, and if you look at some of the other Avenger shows, they've been peppering in Black Panther, for the past couple of years.
Oh, Captain America's right there. That's wild.
Yeah, they have the whole fight between, between Black Panther and Captain America in that series.
And this was on BET.
Yeah, it was on BET.
Wow. What? How much did this cost BET?
I don't know.
Because this is to have. I mean, I know this is pre Disney, but you know,
I mean, it's really like 10 years ago.
I don't know. Well, that lines up with like Iron Man 1, right?
I don't even think that had came out yet. This was even before that.
Wow. So to me, at this point, Michael B. Jordan is not the best Marvel villain. The reason why I say that is he wasn't wrong in what he was trying to do. It's just how he went about doing it. If you really want to break it down to its essence, you can kind of look at this as in the Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X argument. I mean, it's different because, they both using weapons, but Malcolm X is more of a aim means necessary type of person. Actually, when you think about the phrase aim means necessary, you think about Malcolm X, where you think about peace with Martin Luther King, and this is how they kind of wanted to go about it. But if you look at Michael B. Jordan's motivations and the way he grew up and the way that he was treated during the year without having a father and knowing that the citizens of Wakanda had technology that could help black people around the world, or these people who look like them, and them unwilling to help. I mean, that plays a big motivation. And I don't see how you can be mad at Michael B. Jordan at the end of the movie when, those were his thoughts and those were his motivations. I mean, a lot of people just want to take over the world. Thanos want to control the universe. Doctor Doom want to control, the world, and along with Two-Face wanting to control Gotham. But how can you be mad at Michael B. Jordan when he just wanted to help empower his people?
I mean, I don't think anybody was upset at him. I just, it was his tactics. Everybody has different tactics. Malcolm X was more of a radical, by any means necessary. But even he too, even in his later years, he departed ways from the teachings of the Nation of Islam. So it's no in the fight for equality for our people. Everyone has never disagreed. There's been Malcolm X and Martin Luther King didn't really see eye to eye, even though they were fighting for the same mission. But their tactics were greatly different. Malcolm X was more about radical black nationalism, versus where Martin Luther King was mostly about peaceful protest and and pushing the button and the cause. in order to get equality. So it was very different approaches, but pretty much for the same cause. And I think the same was shown here too. And Stan Lee has talked a lot about too. A lot of his inspiration for the X-Men, was fueled around the civil rights movement. And an interesting fact is that actually Black Panther predates the actual Black Panther movement by 3 months.
Wow.
So the Black Panther comic book came out 3 months before the formation of the actual Black Panther Party. Because there were a lot of people thought that it was influenced by the Black Panther Party, but it was actually something that was out before the Black Panthers actually came into existence.
Wow. And also shout out to Disney for real for even allowing that to happen, because you would never expect something that a $1 billion industry like Disney will allow that kind of thing in their movie, or that kind of reasoning, or that kind of thinking to be in one of their big blockbusters.
Well, I think yes, it's a testament to them, because they finally got it right. They finally, and they put the right people in place. Ryan Coogler, he was the director.
Mm-hmm.
He did Fruitvale Station, which was about police brutality. And that was a very important film that came out a couple of years back. So having him kind of at the helm of this movie, that was the right person. And I think as we see now, like Disney is kind of going all in on its diversity properties, because the next Disney movie that's coming out is A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, that would look good, actually.
Headed up by Ava DuVernay. It features Oprah Winfrey and Mindy, I can't think of her last name, Mindy Kaling. And, it has an extremely diverse cast. It has a black female who will be in the lead role. So I think Disney sees the dollars that they can get when they have diverse cast. We saw it with Star Wars.
No, the last Star Wars movie, I mean, they had a black main character, a woman main character, an Asian woman main character. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think they get it. They see it. They see like we can make all the money in the world when the cast is truly diverse. Like the last Star Wars movie was excellent. I loved like every character. I loved the Asian character. I thought she was good. I love David. What's his name? The guy who plays Finn in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So they see it and they get it, and I think them making like these multi-million-dollar investments, it's paying off for them tenfold. They've had the biggest movies, out of anybody else at the box office because their casts are diverse. Yeah. And I think that's what Disney sees, like their future is diversity. The future is women, and I think if they were smart, they would spin off Wakanda and do a standalone movie about the Dora Milaje and all of the women of Wakanda, because there's other stories they could tell there as well. Because we want to see strong female characters on the screen, and Disney finally gave us that in Lupita Nyong'o and the Dora Milaje and everything else that they did with the women characters, even with the with the scientist, the sister, Shuri.
Who basically they alluded to, she built Wakanda by herself.
Yeah, I mean, she's 16 years old and she's doing tech that even Tony Stark isn't doing.
The new Iron Man, they rebooted Iron Man to be a black teenager, or a black college student rather. So she could be the new Iron Man if they go that route. If they decided to do that whole switch up that Marvel's doing now.
There's a new, or in some of the new comic books in Marvel now, there's a black female college student who built her own Iron Man suit. So, so this, I mean, Marvel and Disney, because even like if you look in the comic books now, Thor is a woman.
Her name is Riri Williams, by the way.
Yeah. And then the new Thor is a woman. So she's taking
Wolverine
on,
is a woman. Wolverine is X-20, 2023.
yeah,
Spider-Man
X-23.
is Miles Morales.
So diversity is going to be a huge moneymaker part for Disney moving forward, and I think that's the smart investment, and I think that's the message that Hollywood needs to really take home with this movie and with Wonder Woman being the biggest movie of last year.
Especially if this is the biggest movie. This movie made the most money this year. I mean, Solo coming out, and maybe another Star movie coming out this year too, plus Avengers. So we just have to see where this ranks up. If this movie stay in the top 5 of grossing movies this year, then they definitely have to do something.
I also think this movie has a lot of legs too. I think it's not going to just be a one weekend.
Movie. I already said that this would be the first movie I buy on Blu-ray in 10 years.
Yeah.
I want to think
there's a lot. I think there's a lot of merchandise that because again, it's serving a audience that really hasn't had hasn't had a superhero that we could look to and say, hey, that's our guy. Like we've had Luke Cage, but that's on Netflix, and
that's on a small screen.
Yeah, we've got Black Lightning, and that's on the
small screen,
the WB.
And of course, they'll say that. Of course, they'll say that we have Falcon and we have War Machine and those kind of people, but those people are sidekicks. They're not the main face.
And they could technically move Falcon into Captain America because technically Falcon is Captain America now.
Because I think that his contract is up after this movie, after the last 2
Well,
movies.
there's a lot of controversy with the whole the actor that plays
Chris Evans.
No, the black guy. What's his name? Something McElroy. I don't know. The guy who plays Falcon. He's a little controversial in some of his statements that he's made about black people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think. If they wanted to, I guess we have to see what happens after, everything goes down with Thanos, because technically, Captain America, the mantle of Captain America has moved over to Falcon, and Falcon is technically Captain America now in the comic books.
Anthony Mackie is what
Anthony Mackie. So he could, but I don't know if people want him to be Captain America or... I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on if you read the comic books now, because there's a lot of things that have happened, especially in the events of Civil War II, where it's Iron Man versus
Miss Marvel.
Not Miss Marvel. What's her name? They've already casted they already casted the role for the movie.
I think Miss Marvel.
Is that Miss Marvel?
I think so. That was Civil War II, right?
Yeah, so see...
Yeah, that's Miss Marvel.
That's Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she's a member of Nova Corps.
The story sees opposing faction by superhero led by, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, that's what it is. Because Miss Marvel is technically Rogue.
Okay. Where's Rogue?
I don't know.
I feel like I haven't seen. I haven't really been paying attention to comic books like that, but I feel like I haven't seen Rogue in a very long time.
Yeah, but can we ever get a full-on Gambit movie? Because Gambit,
no, because
was one of my favorite characters, and they seem to just kicked him to the curb now.
Well, that's because that cartoon movie was so great. Not cartoon movies, excuse me. The Fox TV series.
Yeah.
Like, that series was real to me way back in at 4 o'clock in the morning while watching.
So we'll see. There's a lot that can be done now with the whole Marvel's universe, and we have to wait to see what they're planning for the next phase of of movies, because there's a lot of stuff. I think they need to revisit what's the guy on the bike?
Ghost Rider?
Yeah, I think they still haven't done a really good Ghost Rider series, and Ghost Rider is really good.
Are you saying that Nicolas Cage isn't your favorite Ghost Rider?
No.
Okay.
There's,
What about
there's so much stuff they could do.
what about Ghost Rider?
Sure.
Ghost Rider was good. Samuel Jackson was in Ghost Rider.
They finally did some justice to the Punisher, on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Punisher. I like that guy.
So I think there's a lot of stuff that they finally did Deadpool correctly.
Are you excited to see Deadpool too?
I'm excited to see what they do with Cable, since Cable is in this movie and Domino is in the movie. So we're going to see a lot of characters that you never thought they would bring to the screen, actually kind of take life. So
Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see. But I think there is even talks of doing an X-23 movie.
Night of Wolverine dying.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that they can do with the universe, and I think we're just getting started. But definitely go check out Black Panther, see it multiple times, enjoy the film, analyze it, because there's a lot of Easter eggs in there if you look and see. And leave us a comment, tell us what you think about the movie.
Don't bootleg the movie. Do not bootleg. Get off your fire sticks. Do not go to the bootleg man. It's on the 2 for $5. Go to the movie theater. Wake up early. It's 12 o'clock now. Between 10 and 12, the matinee, you probably for like $5. Go in there. Sneak in your snacks, though.
And go check out some of the old comic books if you want to learn more and see some of the other stuff that happened to Black Panther. Tenoch Coates has been penning was penning some of the Black Panther stuff, and there was actually I think her name was Nola Gay or Salonga Gay, was another one of the writers who has been writing Black Panther. So even that in itself, having a Black woman writing Black Panther, for the past couple of months, or I think really for the past year. For the past year, I'm trying to find her name. Hold on.
We're holding.
Roxane Gay. That's her name. So Roxane Gay, she's been working on and writing Black Panther for the past year. So she, so even having her as a Black woman, an LGBT woman, also writing and leading kind of the new charge of where Black Panther is going to go, has been just really interesting. So I think, going back to the whole diversity discussion, I think that's where Disney really sees that that's the direction that they should go in, and that's where the money is going to come from. So, so applause to Disney and applause to Marvel for giving us the movie that we, the Black community deserves to have and have been waiting for a long time, and giving us the respect. To put, almost $300 million in marketing and production budget into a film like this.
Yeah, they knew they had to make it work, and they made it work. So, big round of applause to them.
All right,
also, that soundtrack is really good too. By the way, go listen to that soundtrack. Kendrick Lamar and TTE, they produced it. It's really good. Do go check it out.
Yes, I love the. How do you say her name? SZA.
Yeah, All the Stars.
Yeah, I love that song, and I love that video too.
There are two versions of that song. Do you know that?
Oh no.
If you go on Spotify, you look up the single version and the soundtrack version. SZA's verse is different.
Oh, okay. But I really like that song, and check out some of the think pieces on Black Panther, because there's a lot of them. Wakanda forever. Peace out, guys.
That's right.